Alright, welcome to my review for Terminator Salvation, my number 1 most anticipated movie of summer 009. The movie is about John Connor trying to rescue his dad, Kyle Reese, from being killed in a machine in prison, pretty much. Yeah, that's it. That's the story. And that's one of the complaints I had with it. But, just a quick consensus, what I thought of it. It's okay. It's okay. You know, there was certain things about it. What do you think I'm talking about? Dude, it was awesome! I love this movie. I really do. I can see why you wouldn't, but I really liked it. Complaints? Yeah. Story runs very flimsy at times. Not a very great concrete story, but that said, this might seem like a stupid excuse, but it's made up for with action. McG is a great action director. And I remember when I heard there were people there when it said, you know, I honestly laughed when it said on screens, it goes, Terminator Salvation, directed by McG. I mean, it just, like, doesn't seem like a very Terminator thing. It's like, James Cameron. You know, that sounds kind of cool, but McG. It sounds like something you'd order on a dollar menu. Yeah, I'd like 2 McGs, please. But anyway, he did a good job in directing this movie. Not a great director at directing actors, but yeah, he's a great action director. And the performances here, awesome. Every single one is great. Some of the characters, well, wait, with the exception of Common. Common could have been okay, but they made him the most stereotypical character on the planet. Like, all he said was, man, that thing blown up real good, brother. His first line of the film, I swear to God, is John Connor going up to him, putting his hand on his shoulder, and him going, did my brother make it? Like, dude. And, you know, that's one complaint. And the dialogue can get a little bit cheesy at parts, but the special effects in here are awesome. And you know what? They didn't blow me away, but I think that's because they blended in so well that I just didn't notice them. They weren't there to blow me away. They were there to fit in with the story, which I loved. McG kind of reminds me of Michael Bay in his direction, but he's much better at casting better people and much better and he has a little bit more substance to his films. Where, I mean, you could tell that on a movie like Transformers that Michael Bay directed, yeah, I mean, I love that movie to death, but it seemed like everybody on that set was having fun. That's what they were doing. They were having fun doing it, and, you know, that's fine. And it seemed like in this one, they were having fun doing it too, but then when that camera started rolling, it was down to business. And so I think McG did a good job of directing this. And Christian Bale, man, he was acting his butt off in this movie. A little bit to the point where it got over the top. Like, there's one part where he's like, where somebody goes, we mount our defense in 4 days. And he's like, why 4 days? So it got a little bit over the top. But besides that, Anton Yelchin and Sam Worthington are great here. Anton Yelchin's going to be in a lot of stuff lately. We most recently saw him in Star Trek, so he's awesome. Sam Worthington's really good. Yeah, I really like this movie. And it was a good movie for the first 2/3. I thought it was okay. I was like, yeah, you know, this is so good. You know, solid 7, 6.5 out of 10. And then it got to that final 30 minutes, or 20-30 minutes, which to me are brilliant. It's like one of the just best final acts I've seen in a movie in a long time. As a matter of fact, call me a baby or whatever, but at the very end, I shed a tear. And it really, well, not shed a tear, I just got emotional. I teared up a little bit, because here's the thing that people, I don't think critics seem to understand about this movie. Some people do, a lot of people do. But this is a war movie. It's not like the other Terminator movies, you know. The other ones had corny parts to them, you know. And this one is, you know, they threw all the BS out the window. It's straight up, you know, in your face. And I just don't think people understand that. And somebody said, the 2 biggest complaints I heard was that it was humorless. Okay, what do you want? Christian Bale going up going, okay, so T-800 and a rabbi walk into a bar, and the bartender says, move. You know, I mean, you don't want that, okay? Take away from the story. which it's okay when you have a campy actor like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but in here, when everybody's being serious, you have to keep it serious. And that's what they did, so I don't get that. And the other complaint I've heard is that it's heartless. This movie is full of heart. Okay, it's got a huge heart to it, and that really grinded my gears when I heard that it was heartless, because I thought it was full of heart, and the action was great, and characters were cool, and, you know, besides some weak dialogue and a kind of a flimsy story, the first two-thirds of it, though the action scenes are awesome and very original and cool, some of the best scenes in those first two acts are just John Connor and Sam Worthington, or Sam Worthington and John Connor, just going at it. Just their interplay between each other is awesome. So they were really good together. All the actors were. Some of the characters were a little bit wasted. I brought up Common, Bryce Dallas Howard a little bit too, but besides that, there's some really good action sequences in this. It's a solid film. If you're a fan of the Terminator series, you're going to see it anyway, and you're probably going to enjoy it. If you don't want to see it, you know, then skip it. If you're forced to see it and don't like it, fine. But I love Terminator. This is my type of movie. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. You probably think I might give it a little bit of a higher rating. But you know, like I said, you know, if a movie doesn't have a great story, you know, you can't give it an extremely high rating. But 8.5 out of 10 is a really good rating for this movie. I loved it. Is it as good as Star Trek? No, probably not. Is it as good as Watchmen? God, no. But it is a great film nonetheless. Check it out. 8.5. See ya. Oh, yeah, and by the way, I just wanted to say one thing. At the very first credit in this movie was a dedicated to our friend Stan Winston, which, if you don't know who Stan Winston is, he's invented tons. He invented the Jurassic Park, T-Rex, you know, he's the T-600, T-800, T-1000, Iron Man, he's Hellraiser, he's invented all these great movie characters. He's a visual effects genius. So it's a really classy move by them, and that's all I have to say. See ya.